In our current digital economy, information is king, and you may have considered selling your information or knowledge online through more passive info products. The info product industry is a billion-dollar industry, and there is still a lot of money to be made. And business owners, whether they are local business owners, bricks and mortar, or online, can all leverage passive info product sales to add a new revenue stream into their business and scale with very little time investment. The question is, how do you achieve this? What is the best way to package and sell your knowledge online? I'm going to walk you through 10 different ideas that you may be able to implement to get started in the info product space quickly and easily. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, or comment if you have questions. Idea number 1, package your internal business processes into a course for others in your industry. This can be amazing for business owners who have spent years, if not longer, really refining those internal business processes, automating, simplifying, and making things more efficient and productive. There are many business owners all over the world that wish to have those same type of business processes. So your info product business opportunity could be selling directly back into your niche. So for example, if I am a home cinema builder and my home cinema business has been doing very well, we've automated most things inside the business. We've been able to scale into new territories with remote employees, and things are running pretty well without me. If I was another home cinema builder business that did not have those same processes or was not feeling like my business was running on autopilot, I'd be willing to pay for another business owner's insights and processes, whether those are resources or spreadsheets or charts, whatever those may be, to allow my business to run in a quicker, more simple and efficient fashion. Idea number 2. So similar to idea number 1 that is focused on your internal processes, idea number 2 is focused on your marketing and sales processes. So that could be that you as a business owner, maybe you have dialed in your marketing and your sales. Again, automation is a big part of this, but having a predictable marketing or sales system is something that a lot of business owners only dream of. Trust me, I work with a ton of them, and that is precisely the reason they hire me. So if you've been able to find that and create that, something that is working day in and day out, something that other businesses just like yours could implement, that can be the info product you can sell. There are a variety of ways to package this type of info product. It could be a course, but most likely it's really going to be a mix of resources as well as video content that will allow someone to take this system you're describing and implement it quickly and easily into their own business. Idea number 3. While we're on the topic of selling back into your existing industry, you could also create a coaching program or mastermind for other business owners in your niche. This is, again, an option for those business owners who have found success, who have done things that other businesses are still trying to do. That can be your opportunity to be a mentor to either new business owners in your niche or maybe existing business owners who have just not been able to crack the code yet. I think a lot of business owners assume that in order to do this, they have to be a billion-dollar business or $100 million a year business, but that's simply not true. As Russell Brunson says, you only need to be one step ahead of those you are teaching to be an effective teacher. Truthfully, this came from Frank Abagnale Jr., who was also best known from the Leonardo DiCaprio film, Catch Me If You Can. He pretended to be a college professor, and when he was finally caught, they asked him, How did you get through being a college professor? You had no professor training. You had no special information on this subject. And he said, I just read one chapter ahead of the students. So no matter where you are now, there are always going to be business owners that are a step behind you that would pay to be around others who are doing more and growing their business. Building a group of business owners that can really discuss openly what's going on in their business, can brainstorm with each other, bounce ideas off one another, and show each other the strategies they're using that actually work. There is a lot of money to be made there. While this is a little bit more of a non-passive option, at the end of the day, a mastermind or coaching program has a set number of hours that require you to be involved. It doesn't matter how many people join that mastermind or coaching program, your overall time commitment stays relatively the same. So because of this, it is a much more passive business model than other businesses, and it's one that can be extremely fulfilling and rewarding. Idea number 4. If you are a business that sells locally, you could create a course or an information product that shows consumers that you already sell to how to do what it is you do, but do it themselves. That's going to be able to be sold nationwide or maybe even worldwide, meaning that you've opened up your market significantly. You don't have to sell these products in your local area if you, of course, want to continue to be that primary service provider. But the truth of the matter is, no matter what, even if people are able to learn how to do something, especially something that requires time, skill, and effort, just because you show them how to do it does not mean they actually want to do it themselves. There will always be a place for service providers for any type of service, but that doesn't mean that you should be afraid to show people how you do what you do and get them to try it themselves. Again, if you're concerned about kind of limiting your local market, that's okay. Don't sell it where you actually work as a service provider. Sell it to the rest of the country or world that you will not be able to service regardless. An example of this could be a tree company that removes trees, dead or just trees that are in the way, and they obviously are operating in a local area. Well, if they wanted to expand their market and create an info product, what is going to be the most logical choice for them? I would say teaching homeowners how to safely and properly remove their own trees and save thousands of dollars in the process. Tree removal is expensive. At the end of the day, any homeowner can rent the right tools if they know what those tools are. They can follow a step-by-step process, and they can ultimately accomplish that if they have the right information. But just because you're selling something like that does not mean it will ever replace the need for tree removal services because it's labor intensive. Not everyone wants to put out that effort. They would rather spend the money than the time and effort. So this really gives you the opportunity to capture both markets. There will always be a group of DIY consumers, even in your local area. By not allowing homeowners or your ideal customer base to learn how to do these things themselves, you are ultimately limiting your own potential. You may think that you're protecting your business. You can't tell people how to do it themselves, otherwise they'll put you out of a job. But you may find that the same people that purchase this information product still end up hiring you for the service later. Idea number 5. So very similar to idea number 4, this idea is also about selling the knowledge that your business has to that end consumer. However, this would be for projects or the types of work that you do not want to do. So for example, many home remodelers do not want to take on small jobs. It's not necessarily worth their time. They're not going to pay as well. They're over in a day, and then they have to find another job immediately after. Most of them would prefer a full-scale kitchen or bath renovation, maybe an addition, but something that brings in more substantial revenue. However, because of that, when a homeowner comes to them and says, "Hi, I'm looking to replace my countertops," or "I'm looking to paint my kitchen cabinets," those remodelers are not necessarily interested in those projects. Because of that, they're turning down money that someone is willing to spend on a very specific problem, but more importantly, they're not giving them any solution and they're not making any money from that solution. So what business owners can do is take those projects or take that type of work that is maybe too small for them or just something they don't enjoy and teach their customer base how to do those things themselves so that they can build that relationship. The next time they need something, maybe it's a little bit bigger, they're going to turn to you. But even if that never happens, you're going to be making money off of an audience of people who need an answer to a problem, and you were never able to solve that for them before. Those homeowners can effectively do a lot of those projects with the right information. Maybe it involves hiring tradespeople in certain areas. Maybe it involves renting certain tools, but those are all things that we have access to, which make this a lot easier in the present day and age. For example, I am building a home right now. Me and my husband are GCing the build of this home, which for those not familiar with that term, it means we are being our own general contractor. Typically, your builder is going to be that general contractor that knows all of the steps of the process, who needs to come in at what time, how much they should be charged for certain types of trades, anything specific that needs to be done in order for things to be really built the right way. And they're also keeping everyone on track, everyone on schedule, making sure that nothing is slowing down the progress or preventing this build from being done correctly. Most homeowners or people who are looking to build a house would be very scared and overwhelmed to try and take on that project themselves. However, because my husband and I have a lot of knowledge in the construction, remodeling, and building industry, this is something that we felt confident to do. Yet I have friends that have told me, "I'd love to do what you guys are doing, but we would be so overwhelmed. We'd have no idea where to start. We don't know any of those steps of the process." So at the end of the day, there are people who want to do the thing I'm doing right now, and they are not able to because they don't have the information. This is not something that we're doing every aspect. We're hiring the right people for the right things. We're doing certain aspects ourselves because we already know how to do them, which could also be taught in an information product. But really, we would be able to sell that knowledge, how to GC your own home builds and complete a brand new home in 3 months or less without paying an expensive builder to complete it for you. That information product is something I very well may do because I already know there's a market for it, but you need to really recognize the knowledge and the information that you have that you may take for granted. I think that's something we're all guilty of. If we were talking about a marketing company, well, a lot of marketing companies that run paid ads, they don't want to do social media content because it's time consuming. It tends to be really labor intensive in all honesty. A lot of back and forth with the clients. People are very particular about their content, especially when someone else starts doing it. And so most social media companies, they don't want to provide that service. However, there is not going to stop being a market of people who need that service or have no idea how to do it effectively themselves. So what can you do? Create an information product for that downsell or that project that's a little too small for you and show people how to do it themselves. Once you've solved that smaller problem, they're going to trust you a lot more to solve their bigger problems, which will ultimately be that service that you're providing. Number 6. If you are a business owner who sells any type of physical products or any type of service that requires that end consumer to buy additional physical products, then you should actually be considering affiliate programs as an additional online passive revenue stream. So a lot of business owners completely take this for granted. For example, I have a client. They are a very unique pharmacy in Los Angeles. And this company sells a lot of holistic health products such as vitamins and supplements that are not able to be purchased online. They also sell things that are just a little bit hard to find. Their manufacturers that they work with closely, they will allow their consumers to purchase these things online, which again are not really readily found anywhere on the internet. They have a pretty large email list, but they are not really using it. Part of the plan for this business is to make their email marketing campaigns, which could consist of people who live all over the country now. A lot of them originally were in Los Angeles, but a lot of them have since moved. So not every single one of them will actually be able to come and work with their pharmacy in person. Because of this, they are not able to fully leverage that database that they've built. By really using their email marketing strategy as a way to promote those affiliate products while giving the end consumer information about why they're superior, who they are best for, who might want to consider these certain vitamins or supplements, they're providing an information product. The information is free. The link is something you can't necessarily get everywhere, or they're just making it a lot easier for consumers to find exactly what they need when they need it. And the business owner, whenever someone orders from his link, gets a 35% commission. So that is money for doing very, very little at the end of the day. I also have another client who has an in-person paint store. They provide some paint services, but we are really trying to work on his info product opportunities. One of those would be a course for DIY projects that we already mentioned, but the next opportunity would also be affiliates, especially if he is going to sell an info product, teaching people how to paint certain types of things themselves. What else do those consumers really need to be able to do it? Well, they need the right products. They need the right type of paint roller or paintbrush. They need the right type of painter's tape. They might need certain types of paint. For certain paint projects, they may need sponges or different unique pieces of equipment or tools to get a specific look. The homeowner doesn't want to have to scour the internet to try and find exactly what they need because they're not the expert here. And they also want to make sure they're getting the best quality product for the best deal. This business owner already has that information. They already know what products are required to complete certain projects. So bundling those things together and giving people a shopping list essentially for that project is a super simple way to dive into the affiliate space where you are providing a service through that information of here's everything you need and here's where you can get it. So you're simplifying the process for your consumer, but you're making money without really doing much else. So I've never been someone who focuses on affiliate marketing, and there are people that do that full time. That is all they do. But even if you are not an affiliate marketer or not a marketer at all, you're just a small business owner, there are ways to leverage affiliate sales to grow your business. This is ultimately how those Instagram influencers, especially in the fashion space, make money. They're posting photos of themselves wearing clothes, and they have affiliate links. They have affiliate partnerships with those brands. If someone buys clothes using their link, that influencer is going to get money for it. That's something that most business owners don't really understand. And even if they do understand it, they're not figuring out a way to layer it into their own business. So even if you never consider this being a large part of your info product revenue stream, so to speak, you can still leverage it to add on additional income. Number 7, you can create a franchise of your existing business. I think this is something that many business owners consider, but they may think that it is way too complex or overwhelming. But I know from my coach personally, who has franchised multiple businesses and franchised his first at the age of 18, that it's not as difficult as you might think. Yes, you may need some help going through the process, but ultimately, the information is likely available online if you're willing to put in the work. Selling a franchise is an information product. you're taking that knowledge of everything someone would need, everything that they need to do, the way things should be structured, the information of your name, your brand, your reputation that you've already built, and selling it to someone else to start that business much, much easier. There's still a place for franchises in today's economy. I think that businesses who are really successful in the local market might want to consider this as opposed to simply opening a new location in a different area. When you open a new location, that's more work for you. That's something else for you to manage. When you franchise, there's still another location that you're profiting off of, but it's no longer your responsibility. It has an owner who is committed to growing that business in that location, so you can rest a little bit easier and not invest nearly as much time. Number 8, you could sell your products online as opposed to just in person. So the knowledge that you have, maybe you're a retailer, maybe you are some sort of product and service business in one, but you only sell your products in your physical location and you don't really share them with the outside world. Well, typically those types of business owners, they have specific knowledge about those products. That's why they were chosen to be a part of maybe the small offering that they do have in store or in their location. If you take those very same products and allow people that are not coming into your physical location to buy them, you are going to be able to create a much more passive revenue stream. The knowledge is not necessarily what you're selling, it's the product, but your knowledge of those products and why you chose those products and the benefits to the consumers is something you can package along with that. This could go along with a quiz, and someone goes through that quiz, they find the perfect option for them, which is that physical product, and they're able to purchase it right then and there. Again, you could do that through the affiliate links like we've talked about. It could be something that is a mixture of a online process or internal process and a physical product, or maybe it is just a physical product that instead of only selling it in person, you're now opening up to a very large audience worldwide, and your knowledge as that expert practitioner or business owner that led you to choose those products is now going to help you make additional money. Idea number 9. So this is, again, similar to idea number 8, but instead of selling physical products online, you would actually take your physical services online. I think that there is an enormous opportunity for local business owners of all kinds to do this, yet very few ultimately know how to execute it. Maybe it's been something they've been thinking about for a while, but they just never move on it. For example, I know someone very well who is a great personal trainer. This personal trainer lives about an hour and a half away from where his girlfriend lives and where all his friends live. He is staying in that location simply because of his job. He wants to move closer, but he doesn't want to have to drive an hour and a half to work. My solution for him is take your personal training services and sell them online. When you are any type of in-person business owner, there is a way to transition that into an online service. Sometimes it's just as good as the in-person service. Sometimes it's not quite as great as you would like it to be. There might be some elements that naturally are missing, but you can figure out a way to overcome those, and you don't necessarily have to price them in the exact same way. With the technology that we have access to and simply being able to video chat with anyone, anywhere, at any time, that gives any in-person service provider the opportunity to take that knowledge, take that service, sell it online. And online personal training has been something that has really grown since the pandemic started out of necessity. People are not going to stop wanting to work out or get healthier, but they couldn't necessarily do it in a lot of places in person. Because of that, I think more business owners than ever before are going online, but I still think that there's so many that don't believe it's possible or don't understand that they can take what they sell and sell it to people all over the country from the comfort of their own home. Another idea that I mentioned a couple years ago, really when the pandemic started, but I still think someone should do is online remodeling services. So again, people are never going to stop wanting to update their home, but they are not educated. They are not a contractor. They do not know all of this. So in addition to some of the other ideas I've already presented, you could offer virtual consultation services to those homeowners. You could say, all right, we'll video chat and I'll review everything that's been done. I'll talk to your plumber and let them know what they need to do, X, Y, and Z. So many of those things can be seen for the contractor just by the homeowner showing them on an iPad or something like that. And it can also be discussed with whomever it needs to be discussed with. I think that would be tremendous because part of the issue that homeowners face is simply not knowing if they're doing it right, if they're forgetting something, if they're doing things in the right order, and just the confidence of having someone who is an expert be able to review what you've done and guide you through the next steps is invaluable. I know because that's ultimately what I do for my students in my mentorship every single day. Idea number 10. Similar to idea number 9, this would be some local or service-based business taking all of the products and materials that they use to complete their jobs, selling them in a kit, and then offering instructional videos or live video guidance. This is something that I have really noticed a lot more when I started that process of building my home. So the type of construction that we were looking for is something called post-frame construction. There are actually post-frame construction homes online that are already designed. They've got a layout for the outside and the inside. You can buy those kits and it will come with all of the materials that you need. It doesn't come with the installation in a lot of those cases. In some cases it does. They partner with local installers to get those installed, but they do come with detailed instructions on how you can do it yourself or the people that you need to hire to be able to do that. So I think there is a tremendous opportunity for anyone in that product space or service space to take everything that they need to do their jobs and bundle them together in a kit. This is also similar to the affiliate options we talked about before. You're creating simplicity and removing a lot of confusion from your consumer base because they no longer need to source each and every piece that is required for the outcome that they're looking for. That can take a lot of time. And again, from people who are not professionals, they're going to second guess every single decision. They're going to question if this is the best quality, if this is the best price, if they got enough. So make it easy for them. Sell them a kit of everything that is required to do what you do, and then give them either live or online guidance to show them how to actually assemble or execute that. This is very similar to what I'm doing with my high-level snapshots. These are fully built account snapshots that I've worked on for lots of different industries and strategies, and I'm able to package them together, sell them as an online kit, so to speak, and then they have instructional videos that go along with them to allow the person who's buying them to do it themselves. They also have the ability to add on those live calls for my mentorship to get live support if they feel like they need it. So this can be an awesome way to replicate yourself, sell to a larger customer base, a customer base that sometimes wouldn't be able to afford the full service, but still needs the same outcome. So you are expanding your business in a variety of ways. And the best part about all of these ideas that I've shared is they are very low time commitment. Some of them no time commitment at all once you get them put together, and they can be sold nationally or globally, increasing your potential to make money. I hope you've enjoyed this today. Let me know which idea out of these 10 is your favorite and which ones you might try and implement into your own business.